You say you miss them, but what you really miss is the version of you that felt wanted when they were near. You don't need them, you need the air you think they carried. And now that it's gone, you panic like drowning in a sea you made yourself. The Stoics knew this. When your calm depends on someone else, it's not calm, it's addiction. You wake up and check for them. You wait for a message, a sign, a signal that you still exist in someone else's world. But you do, right here, in your breath, in your silence, in your choice, to feel the ache and not run. Needing someone to feel okay is a cage you built and handed them the key. They don't need to lock it. You did that, by believing peace comes from someone else's presence. But what if it doesn't? What if silence is not punishment, but space? Not loss, but clarity? Sit in it, the stillness, the quiet pull, the ache of missing what you thought was your air, and then breathe. Without them, not to forget, but to remember. You never actually stopped breathing, you just forgot how to on your own. This is where it begins, not with another person, not with closure, not with noise, but with you, alone. Still alive. You don't need them to breathe, you need to stop, holding your breath for someone who already exhaled. If they wanted to stay, they would have. No pause, no maybe, no not right now. They would have stayed, but they didn't. They left. With silence, with softness, with nothing you could hold on to. And yet, you still chase, still reach, still imagine. They'll look back. The Stoics never chased, they chose. And when something stopped choosing them back, they let it go without resistance. You call it love, but it's not. It's survival. It's addiction to a pattern that already broke you once before. They showed you who they are, with absence, with excuses. With half-hearted presence that disappeared when effort was needed. And you filled in the silence with fantasy. Stop. Don't rewrite their leaving as confusion. It was clarity. They just didn't say it out loud. So you said it for them, with waiting, with hoping, with pretending they'll return if you just hold on longer. But what stays, stays. It doesn't make you beg, it doesn't make you shrink, it doesn't watch you bleed and call it timing, so let them go. Let the memory fade without poetry. Let the picture blur without rescue. Let the door close and don't stand outside, trying to prove your worth. Because the longer you chase, the more you tell your nervous system that love equals abandonment. And that belief will break you long after they're gone. You don't need them back, you need you back. The version of you that knew how to stand still without running after silence. Stop chasing what never stayed. Because nothing good ever comes from sprinting toward someone who's walking away. You were whole before they arrived. And you are still whole, now that they're gone. But somewhere along the way, you forgot. You started speaking in we. You started measuring yourself by how close they stood. They didn't make you complete, they just distracted you from the parts of yourself you hadn't met yet. The Stoics never believed in being half. They didn't wait for someone to fix them. They fixed their patterns, their focus, their frame. Because to be dependent is to forget that you were built to stand alone. You're not a gap waiting to be filled. You're not an echo looking for its source. You are the sound, the structure, the solid thing that doesn't need permission to exist fully. Stop saying, they complete me. Stop asking, what do I lack? Start remembering there was a you before this story, and that version didn't need anyone to function. Love doesn't mean merging, it means meeting. Two whole people, two steady cores, two separate fires that don't need each other to burn. Dependency says, I can't feel peace unless you're near. But mastery says, I'll feel peace, even if you're gone. So reclaim your name, your morning, your space, your voice. Reclaim your plans, your movement, your silence. Because nothing is lonelier than becoming a shape that only fits next to someone else. You are not a half, and you never were. So stop looking for someone to finish you. You were done. The day you learned how to walk without holding someone else's hand. Stop waiting for someone to fix it. Stop waiting for the message, the return, the rescue. No one's coming, and that's not a tragedy. It's a beginning. The Stoics didn't look outward for peace, they built it, inside, quietly, without applause. They didn't pray for someone to pull them from the storm. They became the one who walked through it, alone. You keep hoping that someone will see your worth, choose you, anchor you, make you feel whole again. But what if this is your job? What if your mornings weren't built around who texts back? What if your mood wasn't tied to how someone else feels? What if your routine wasn't shaped by attention, but by intention? Build a life that doesn't need saving. Not because you don't want love, but because you don't need rescue. You are not sinking. You are standing still. In water you can walk out of anytime. Stop handing your happiness to people who don't stay. Stop outsourcing your calm to someone else's chaos. Stop assigning your worth to how wanted you feel today. Want peace? Design it. Want strength? Stack it. Want to be whole? Act like you are. Even when it aches, routine, discipline, stillness, clarity, these are not punishment. They're architecture. They're how you become untouchable. Because when your life is not waiting to be rescued, you become the one who doesn't flinch when no one shows up. You don't need a savior, you need a system. You don't need attention, you need alignment. And once you have that, they'll stop trying to fix you, because they'll feel it too. You already did. Peace isn't found, it's defended. It's not a gift, it's a boundary. And most people lose it because they give it away too easily. The Stoics protected their inner world with ferocity. They didn't invite drama, they didn't absorb noise, they didn't explain their calm to people who lived in chaos. They just closed the gate and stood behind it. You keep letting people in. People who shake your rhythm, who question your stillness, who drag you into storms you never caused. And you call it love, or care, or empathy. But sometimes it's just a lack of boundaries. Your mind is not a public place. Your heart is not a waiting room. Your silence is not an invitation. Stop explaining your distance. Stop justifying your peace. You don't owe your energy to every knock on the door. Guard your time like it's gold. Guard your thoughts like they shape your life. Guard your calm like it's the only thing no one else can rebuild for you. They'll call you cold, detached, arrogant, but what they really mean is, you stopped letting me interrupt your healing. Good. Keep going. Your peace is not rude, it's rare. And rare things aren't handed out, they're protected. Some people don't want connection, they want access to your emotions, to your reactions, to your time, to your weakness. And the moment you stop giving it, they call you distant. That's not distance, that's defense. So defend it. With silence, with stillness, with sharp, soft refusal. Because the one who can sit unaffected, unshaken, unreachable to chaos, that one cannot be controlled. That one is free. They can't break you if you're not holding on. They can't shake you if you're not leaning. They can't silence you if you've already made peace with the quiet. The most powerful person in the room is the one who doesn't need to be understood. To be chosen, to be loved back, to feel whole. The Stoics didn't just endure loss. They mastered detachment, not out of apathy, but out of clarity. They didn't hate people. They just didn't hand them the steering wheel. You gave too much, not love, but control, over your smile, your rhythm, your ability to feel okay. Now it's time to take it back. You don't need to stop loving. You need to stop depending. You don't need to close your heart. You need to seal your center. You don't need to run. You just need to return to the part of you that was whole before they arrived. And the moment you do, you'll see it clearly. The less you need, the stronger you become. The quieter you get, the more control you have. The less attached you are, the more love you give without losing yourself. Because freedom isn't escape. It's standing still while everything around you shifts and you stay whole. So keep walking, not away, but back. Back to your calm, back to your edge. back to the life you forgot how to own. Let them leave. Let the silence stay. Let the weight drop. Because the one who doesn't need is the one no one can trap. Not with promises, not with distance, not even with love. You don't need, you choose, and that is freedom.